stragglers, but welcome to our Taylor Business Alliance meeting. We were just talking earlier, this is our second year doing this, and we launched this a couple of Januaries ago, and it was our way of getting businesses in the city of Taylor connected, getting businesses in the city of Taylor getting involved in their community better and getting to just use each other, know each other better, but also serving. And one of the things I found out when I brought my business to Taylor, 6 years ago, that I just felt there was a little bit of disconnect with businesses, and that wasn't a bad thing, but just because there's 3,000 businesses in Taylor, and they just don't know each other. And there's 3,000 businesses in Taylor that don't know of the opportunities that are near them, and everybody was like, I just don't know where to start, I don't know where to go. So all of us at Taylor Rotary kind of thought about, well, let's get together and have a business alliance, because the city of Taylor doesn't have a business association. It doesn't have an actual chamber of commerce just for Taylor. And we said, what a great idea that we could create this business alliance where we could get business owners together and just share ideas, learn from each other, use each other, and also use our gifts and our resources to give back to the community. So that's how this got started. I know we just had one in July, which was a makeup because we had some weather issues, but we had a great speaker, Michelangelo Caruso, that came in and talked about presenting and sales techniques and stuff like that, and he was a great hit. And we've had Ron Moran, the chairman of the TIFA board, talking about some of the great things that are happening here in Taylor. We've just had so many different speakers, and we've had a chance to introduce a lot of new businesses, to introduce themselves to the city as well. So we've had some great experience with this, and so I want you guys to all know that I'm just appreciative that you're here. You're here to learn, and you're here to just get to know the Taylor Business Alliance a little bit better, and Taylor Rotary itself. So, and as we're heading into the Christmas season, it's hard to believe it's right around the corner. It doesn't feel like it with today's weather, but we got a lot of projects we're working on. I'll talk a little bit about those at the end. But I get the pleasure of introducing a great friend, somebody that I've got to know many, many years through church, through business, and just through serving opportunities and his family. And if you guys, he'll tell you more of his story. But the reason we brought him in today is our world is changing when it's coming to marketing, and that's social media. And that's the way things are going nowadays. Everything's on social media. Social media is a way to grow your organization, get your footprint out there to get people to know you, to build your audience, and to help you grow your business or get your message out there. And so, and I've got the privilege of following Mike for many, many years on social media, and he has built a great business and a great following on social media, and he has mastered it. And he wants to share those skills with you guys on how he's mastered social media, and I'll let him tell his whole story, but I think it's just awesome that he's volunteered his time tonight to come in and share with us some great ideas of how he has used social media to build a presence and build his business. And it's an honor to call him a friend. It's an honor to call him a colleague. An honor to call him a brother in Christ. It's an honor to call him friend, business owner, entrepreneur, all that stuff. We get to share a lot of like ideas, and we both like spoiling grandkids, and we just like making a difference in our community. But you guys, I want you guys to give a nice round of applause for Mr. Mike Edwards, a.k.a. Mike the Cop. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mike Edwards.
All right, I gotta get this computer thing. I love social media, like I'm good at it, but I'm terrible at technology. So, which is weird. Like my kids can make fun of me for that. Let's see. This works again. Oh, it's back. Cool. All right, it's working. Oh, I don't care. You tell me. You're the sound guy. All right, who here is on social media? Everybody? Pretty much everybody? If you are not on social media, I got news for you. It is the water you're swimming in, whether you want it to be or not. So that was my case way back in 2008-ish when I first got a Facebook. I had Facebook to keep up with like old college friends or family, that kind of a thing, and to spy on my kids. All right, so like that's why I had social media. And it came came to a point later on where I was doing some nonprofit work and I was starting some businesses, and I wanted to figure out, can social media get more eyeballs on what it is that I was doing, whatever it was, whether it was what was for a good cause or whether it was just to grow a business and ultimately get the result of increasing revenue. I wanted to do those things. So I figured out that social media is a money machine, right? Quite honestly, this is how the biggest brands in the world at this point, and the smallest brands in the world, on a local level, the local businesses that are killing it are tending and will need to be increasingly aware of how to use social media to do that. So it's literally like a machine in the sense of when you go, you're hankering for the snack and you stop at the rest area, right? And you're like, okay, I want this candy bar. Will you try to put something in? What is it that you need to put in? It's going to tell you it needs this much money, and then it's going to tell you that you need to hit AA, triple three, whatever it is, how they have, how many alphabets and numbers that they have on these vending machines. Here's what you have to do. Put this in, push these numbers, and out will come a result, right? So it's about what you put in is what you get out. And social media, instead of being food in the machine that you can't see anymore, so we might not just do this presentation, I'll just wing it. It is Facebook. Instead of potato chips, it's Facebook. Instead of a candy bar, it's Instagram or whatever. There's all sorts of different social media platforms. Tonight, I'm mostly going to be talking to you about the basic ones of Facebook and Instagram. Mostly because, especially judging from the room, no offense, most of us are Facebook and Instagram users. Most of us aren't going to be TikTok users because we're probably beyond that age. But if you do use TikTok, great, you can. But it's a little bit more difficult to learn. YouTube is another skill. So YouTube is its own sort of animal. So I just want to focus in on some of the basic spots of the water you're probably already swimming in, Facebook and Instagram. And those platforms are telling you what it is that they want you to put in so that you can get the results that you would like to get out. So if you go to the vending machine and you put, maybe it's not so much around Metro Detroit because we're close to Canada, but if you're in Florida and trying to put Canadian quarters in a vending machine, it's not going to take it, right? Because it's not what it requires to put in. And if you hit the wrong buttons on the machine, you can't be surprised when what comes out at the end and you reach your hand in isn't what you asked for, isn't what you wanted. You might be getting something, but not what you wanted because you're not putting the right thing in. So to get what you want out, whether that's more clients, whether that's more eyeballs on, whether that's more revenue, whatever it is that you're hoping to accomplish with social media, you have to put the right things in to get them out. So how does social media make you feel? When I talk about social media, are you scared? Do you freak out? You want to run away and you think as soon as you log into Facebook, your head's going to spin like the Exorcist girl? Are you intimidated by this? You're just I don't know where to start. The internet seems like such a big place. What do I do? Do you get confused about social media? You're I'm on there, but I don't really know how to do anything on social media. Or do you get excited? Are you man, I really wish I could get better at social media because I know that if I did, then I'd be able to get some different kind of results for my business. So I use this example of Disney because there's a certain expectation when you go to Disney World, Disneyland, or whatever, that it's going to be this, magical place, right? And a lot of times on social media, especially when we're newer to business or when we're a business that's new to social media, we think, oh, I'm just going to be able to go online, I'm going to post that I have this business, and then I'm going to have people lined up outside the door to come get my product or to take my services that I offer or whatever else. The phones are going to be ringing off the hook. I'm going to be getting so many messages because of just posting on social media. And that can be the expectation, just like going to Disney World. But then there's the reality, which looks like that. That is my son-in-law. His name is Zach, and he took my grandkids and his nieces to Disney World, and that's one of his nieces. And that's at the end of a day, Disney. And so there's a certain expectation out there and a certain reality to it. And we can have the same thing happen on social media, right? Where we expect certain things and then reality sets in. We're like, this isn't quite as easy as I thought it would be. So what I want to do for you tonight, in the short time that we have together, so I'm going to give you the exact strategy that you can implement right now to grow your business. Even if you have a very small audience, even if you have no audience. All right? Does that sound good? Is that fair? If I give you an exact strategy that you can use, I want to make this so simple that anybody can do it, and you can do it in short bursts throughout your day. Just to let you know, I'm not just some wingnut that Keith brought in here that doesn't know what he's doing. I was in law enforcement for 11 years. I was a police officer in Oak Park and in Southgate. And in that time, I started a nonprofit called Humanizing the Badge. We wanted to figure out how to get more eyes on it. And so I decided to start making short, some people would call them funny. I was just being an idiot on the internet, basically, trying to make people laugh, bridge that gap between law enforcement and the community. So I started making these comedic sketch videos and putting out other content that I found meaningful. So I was able to grow my Facebook page to 1.1 million followers. Instagram is 322,000. YouTube got to 546,000. And even though my kids said my TikTok stuff was cringe, I grew my TikTok to 1 million people first, and they said, "Dad, you're cringe." So I deleted it, and I started a new one just to prove that. And then they said, "You couldn't grow it now because you're too old, and you couldn't do it again if you started fresh." So then I started a new one, and I'm at 112,000 on TikTok now. So this is not a mistake, right? There is a strategy to social media, and I want to kind of clue you in on that. And you can leverage this for business, because I don't make money on the content itself, but what this has enabled me to do is I went into real estate. I decided that I had enough of being a cop, just in general, right? If you want to know my whole story, we'll talk about it, but I was over it, okay? So I left law enforcement and went into real estate. And so I was like, well, I can leverage the audience that I've built to do the same thing in the real estate space as I did in the law enforcement space. I can use social media. So I've been in real estate now for 6 years and have my own local clients here, focused mainly on downriver. And as a part of that, I've added mortgages in, so I'm doing mortgages now. And then we've started something called the 10-7 Project. So what that is we're helping 10,000 cops, veterans, and other public safety professionals supplement or replace their income by teaching them how to transition out of the law enforcement or public safety space into their own real estate or lending businesses. So right now we have over 200 agents that I manage across the country. So all this stuff that started in 2015 for me on social media has led me to where I'm at now. So that's just a little bit about me. Again, we can talk later if you want to know more about the specifics. But let's talk about the strategy and some things that are going to get in the way. 3 barriers. The first one is you're going to feel like you've got too much to do. I don't know who relates to that. You already feel as a business owner, I've already got so much on my plate. The thought of adding social media to the mix stresses me out because I've already got enough to do. So I want to address that by making sure that the strategy that I'm going to give you tonight is something that you can do in small increments and isn't a time suck. Another thing is, again, time, right? I'm already there at my office. I'm packed to the gills with my schedule. I don't have enough time to do this. The reality is that doing social media the easy way and the smart way doesn't take hardly any time at all. And then you have to be able to justify the ROI. If you're going to learn a new skill, if you're going to implement a new strategy, you want to feel confident as a business owner. Well, if I'm going to spend time on this, I really need to be able to justify it. I can't just play on Facebook or Instagram all day and scroll endlessly and hope that money falls into my lap, and I can't waste my time like doing that. So you want to be able to justify the ROI. So what I want to do is say, yes, those are barriers that you need to overcome, but it's also, if you focus on the barriers, you're going to miss the opportunity. And that opportunity is to give people in your local community, the audience that you hope to reach, a glimpse into who you are, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. This is what you need to be doing with social media. It's just opening the curtains, right? Some of you have the front rooms, and you keep your curtains closed, right? Because you don't want to have people see you roaming around in your underwear watching Die Hard or whatever. Okay, how do I open it? Oh, the computer's going to sleep? Yes. I see. Does that wake it up, just doing that? But when you open up the curtains, right, you let the light in, people can see into your house, they can see what's on your TV. So social media is like that. You're giving them a glimpse into who you are, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. And that's really important, is you're conveying your why. Why does your business matter to you in the community? And you can give people that on social media. So I'm going to give you exactly what to do, and you can do these things in 5-minute pockets. You don't have to dedicate 2 hours a day to social media. You can get started literally tonight, and you can do things in 5-minute increments and work it throughout your day. You can figure out what works for you of all the stuff that I'm going to show you tonight, and then you can apply it as you see fit. And at the end, we'll have time for questions, so you can ask me anything that you want. I'll stay here as long as it takes afterwards. If I can help you in your business in any way, I'll take as much time as I can. All right, so are we on agreement? That's what we're going to cover? Ready for the strategy? All right. Okay, so if you're taking notes, I would draw this. I would take a picture on your phone. This is everything that I'm going to cover in kind of like a summary. All right? So I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this particular slide. So you're doing the base of the pyramid, and then you're working your way up. All right? We need to do 3 things. If you want to use social media to grow your business, you need to prime the algorithm, you need to activate the audience, and you need to start conversations. Those are the 3 things that you have to do every single day that you're using social media. Maybe, you take Sundays off. I don't work Sundays, so I really don't do social media on Sundays. So you don't have to do this every day, but on the days that you do, you need to be doing these things. So I want to explain them as we go through, but stories are the way that you prime the algorithm. And if you don't know what that means, is there's 2 types of posts. A static post, and I don't know where my settings are at to not do that very long, or that's going to keep happening. Stories are something that appear for only 24 hours, right? It's a short-term thing. Stories are something that is just a little bit of a backstage pass to your day, right? If you're getting a cool coffee design in your latte at the coffee shop, that goes on your stories. It doesn't go on a post, okay? Because here's the reality, before any of this matters, is you have to understand that you're trying to reach people on social media, but social media people aren't going on Facebook or Instagram to see you. Okay? That's the psychology behind this structure. They're not going there to see you. They're sitting on the toilet, scrolling with their thumb. That's what they're doing. Did you know that 87% of videos on the internet are not even played with audio? Because people are in bed, they're in their office, they're at work, ignoring their boss, talking in a meeting. That's when they're scrolling on social media. They're not sitting in their meeting going, I wonder what business wants me to give them money today. They're not scrolling social media for that. They're going there to be a distraction. They're going there to laugh. They're going there to get mad about politics. They're going there to argue with their aunt. They're going there to do all kinds of things. None of it is there to see you. So you have to meet them where they're at, right? You have to recognize they're just fish swimming by. You're going to put something out there about who you are, what you're doing, and why you're doing it, and it catches the attention of who it catches the attention of. But there's something called an algorithm on Facebook and Instagram, and it's going to deliver more of what you post when you post more. And the way that you can easily post every single day is just stories. You're like, stories about what? You. Who you are, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. It's just quick little videos, quick little photos through your day, especially if you own a business, giving people a little bit of a backstage pass to what that is. So you're going to prime the algorithm, because if you prime the algorithm, it gets things flowing. And now, you've been posting on stories, now it will share more of what you're going to post, right? A static picture or typing a message or whatever it is that you're putting out there, it will show more of that to the people who are seeing your stories. It's basically telling Facebook or Instagram, this person is active. So we're going to reward that, right? What you put in is what you get out. Those companies are saying, oh, they're putting things in, we'll give them more of an audience. And that's how that works. Then you're going to activate that audience with a post, right? or a like, a comment, or a share. You're going to engage on social media. Social media is a two-way street. That's why both of those are there. They're different things. You're posting, but you also have to like, comment, and share. You also have to engage. How selfish is it of us as business owners to think we're going to go online, ultimately be seeking people to patronize our business, to get our good or service, but we're not doing the same for others. So you need to go on there and interact with other people's content. Pay attention next time you're in a room with people or you're at an event. You will see that Facebook and Instagram will deliver more of their content to you for the next 24 to 48 hours. I will see something that Keith posts tomorrow that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. Because they're following us. It's true, right? They're tracking us, right? It's too late. It's already done. And so it knows where we're at. It knows who we're around. And if I like a post from somebody, Facebook is like, oh, Mike likes this. I'm going to show more of stuff like that. And so the more you post and engage with people and they engage with you, the more consistently they're going to begin to see your content. And that helps grow the audience. So you're going to go through that. And then ultimately the top of the pyramid is we want to start conversations. Because conversions are going to happen in conversations. This gives us the opportunity to connect with people, invest in them, and ultimately ask for business or present our business to them. So that's how we want to do it. So your goal in this strategy is to start one conversation a day. When you're on social media, the whole goal is to make a connection and start a conversation. And we'll explain this a little bit later. So real quick so that you understand, if you're going to like something on social media, what does that mean? It means you're acknowledging it. You're making the person who posted that feel acknowledged. That's the purpose of it. If you're going to comment on it, it opens up the door for more connections. You're opening up a conversation. Posting a comment is like saying hello. I like what you, I don't even like this, but I like it enough to say something about it. I'm saying something to you. And it's opening the door for conversation. And then to share something is to promote it. And you can do that right on your stories. You should be sharing other people's content and other businesses that you appreciate and support. You should share their stuff, right? And that gets reciprocated in the long run. So stories are the heartbeat, and then we're going to post things that are engaging, interesting, or educational. And this is what I'm really going to dive into. We want them to be engaging, interesting, or educational. Really going to zero in on the engaging part. And then go like, comment, and share and start conversations. All right, so stories. What do we need to know about this? You need to be doing this every day. This is non-optional. If you only have time to do one thing, it should be sharing something on your story. All right? I can't emphasize this enough. That's how you prime the algorithm. That's how you turn the hose on and water's flowing through it, right? You need to keep that there. If you don't, every time you want to go water something, you got to go back and turn the spigot back on. So if you don't post on stories, you're turning the water off, and you have to go back and start that over every time again. So you prime the algorithm and keep things moving by posting stories. So you need to do this every day. Then again, it's a behind-the-scenes look. All right? This is just giving people a glimpse into your day. Think about the old school idea of journaling, keeping a diary. A story is basically a public diary of your day, right? Now you'll have to be able to explore what people are interested in for you, but you want to be yourself. You don't want to pretend to be somebody else. You're not trying to live a different life. You want to be authentic, but you need to be sharing the meaningful parts of your day that you want to communicate to people, who you are, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. So as you're sharing that story behind the scenes, ask yourself those questions. Does this look into my day? Let people know who I am as a business or as a person, what we do, and why. More importantly, why we do what we do, right? Show the results. Show the meaning behind your business. This gives you an opportunity to do that. You should be doing that with your stories. It gives you an opportunity to share other people's content, right? If you think something is funny, if you think something is outrageous, if you think something needs to be argued about on Facebook, share it up. Trump and Biden, have at it. 2024, it's going to be a fun year. So just keep sharing that stuff up if that's your thing, whatever. Or if you don't want controversial stuff, don't share it. It's okay too. But just make sure it's authentic. And you want to use the tools that the platform is telling you to use. So especially if you're on Instagram, there's a little sticker button, and it lets you do polls. It lets you do Q&A. It lets you put stickers on there, like little GIF images. Who's a GIF person? Who's a GIF person? GIF or GIF? I don't know. I think it's a GIF, but you can fight about that. Well, there's a poll right there. Put it on your stories right now. Is it GIF or GIF? See what happens. So you're going to use the tools because Facebook and Instagram are telling you they're putting the tools there. Do you think that they put the poll feature on stories because they don't want you to use it or they want you to use it? They want you to use it. And so if you do, you're putting into the machine what the machine wants so that it gives you something in return. So when new tools come out, use them. So you can explore what tools are there by hitting, like, it's literally a square with a little fold on it. It's like a sticker thing on Instagram. You can explore all the options that are there. You can check into locations, so if you're eating at a new restaurant or something, you can put the sticker, put the location. You can put the temperature. You can do all kinds of things. Fill it up. Use the tools, because the platform is saying, this person is our kind of person, because they're using all the tools that we gave them. So that's what you need to be doing with stories. Posts. There's 3 key posts I want to talk about: the tide riser, the hand raiser, and the offer. All right? So you need to be doing stories every single day, and then you need to do these 3 posts as often as you can. I'm not talking about 12 times a day. You could do this, 1 post a day. You could do this 3 posts a week. The key is going to be consistency. If you're inconsistent, it's like you have to keep going back to the starting point. And you have to reprime the algorithm. You have to start again. So you need to be able to do this consistently. But it doesn't take long. So I want to explain what each of these posts are: tide riser, hand raiser, and offer. So tide riser. Tide risers are stupid. And stupid wins every day on the internet. like if you've ever been on the internet, you know it doesn't take a G. But remember, why someone's sitting on their toilet, they don't care about my business, but they'll laugh at this, right? And this is true. I am 47, and I don't know how to use aluminum foil or friggin' plastic wrap. That stuff does not work for me. I'm terrible at it. I just put that because it's a relatable thing. And it had 259 reactions and 103 comments. And remember, what's the point of the pyramid? What's at the top? Anybody remember? Conversations. I have 103 people that I can start a conversation with. Why? Because of plastic wrap. It's stupid. It means nothing. But it's my sense of humor, and it's me. It's just me being me. It's a tide riser. It's something that's really engaging, that just gets people's attention. Gets them to engage and laugh, get mad, comment, whatever. So that is a tide riser type post. And when I say it can be done, it literally can be done. That's not an exaggeration. It can be anything. There's all sorts of examples in that. It could be like, you could fill in the blank. Write this one down. When I get mad, and then just put a bunch of underscores together so it makes a blank. When I get mad, I blank. And then put your answer in the comment. Put my answer in the comments. It's like, I clam up and don't say anything to anybody. Other people like, I throw stuff across the room. Other people like, I drive my car into a cliff, or whatever, People will answer. It's like tide riser. It's something that people just want to engage with. So that's a tide riser. Next is a hand raiser. I'm in the real estate space. So this is a post that gets people to raise their hand and answer a question for me directly related to my business. So look up your first home on Zillow. What did you pay for it? What is this estimate today? Again, 155 comments. 155 comments. So that is people can't buy that kind of advertising, right? That's free. I didn't have to go to Facebook ads and pay for anything. Now, my job is to go have comments with those people. You know, what I have as a service in the real estate space is something called HomeBot, and it will do annual checkups on people's home values. So, Zillow, by the way, is horrible. Zestimates are meaningless. Just a heads up, don't mean to break any hearts. But it's terrible. There's reasons for that. So instead I can say, hey, I can't believe your house is worth $300,000 more now. If you really want to know what it's worth, I can actually give you a tool that tells you more accurately than Zillow, because Zillow is terrible. And now I can add those people into my system. I can email them. I can open up doors of conversations. So it's a hand raiser. And this is where you get a little bit more specific with your business, your niche, as it were. And you can find ways to do that. I'm happy to give you creative ideas afterward when we talk, or if you have some questions. And then there's the offer. One of the things that I do is I said we're growing agents. I want to attract more agents to our real estate team. So this is an offer. I compiled a list of 60 social media video topics, 74 script starters, 60 hooks. And if you don't know what any of that means, that's okay. Want the PDF? Comment yes, I'll make sure I DM you with it. 164 people I DM with my document. Now I have those people's information. Now I can communicate with them. Now the door is open. I gave them something of value. I didn't ask for anything in return. It's an offer. Right? One of the things that I say to myself every day at the beginning of my workday is, in gratitude, I'm going to add value, move forward, and stay the course. So adding value to people's lives is a core value of mine. If I talk with somebody, if I do something on social media, I want it to add value. I don't want it to be pointless. Even though a tide riser is dumb, it's not pointless. It helps me connect with people and ultimately start conversations. So this is an offer. You can put together, you can just make anything up. I'll show you because I did it for this presentation. Then you get to the direct messages part. The purpose of DMing, they're sliding into someone's DMs. Well, there's a different purpose for that. But I'll leave that alone. All right. But if you're going to direct message someone, and a lot of times if I have someone's information already, if this person's already in my phone, I will directly contact them off social media. I want to move these relationships from digital to analog. This is the key. In an increasingly digital world, the more analog you can make your business, the more you're going to win. People, social media is a great tool. It's terrible at authenticity. Terrible. But what can be authentic is your connection with those people in the real world. So you're looking through these conversations to move people from digital to analog, real world conversation. So if I had that person's number, I might send him a video. I had a friend of mine that I used to work with in the police department. His son just got his pilot's license. Instead of doing the same thing everyone else did on social media and comment, congrats, I have his number. I'm sitting there. I pull up my phone, I did a video message. He was my lieutenant, so we call the nicknames like LT. Hey LT, how you been, man? I just saw on Facebook that your son got his pilot's license. You've got to be super proud as a dad that they're doing that. What's his next steps? Conversation, right? What would happen in your business if you did that every day, 5 days a week? If you take 2 weeks off, that's 250 conversations, if I did my math right. Meaningful conversations that can come from social media. That's the purpose of it, to move from digital to analog. And you want to move them off of social to serious platforms. Serious platforms are phone, email, address, those three. If you know where they live, or you can call them, or you can send them a piece of email, that's a more serious platform. Because at the end of the day, that algorithm that we talked about means they won't always see your stuff. They might not know. There's a lot of people that I've been friends with for years, and they know nothing about what's happened in the last 2 years of my life. Because they just haven't seen my stuff, for whatever reason. That's the algorithm. It's not perfect. So I need to be able to move them to a serious platform that I can maintain connection with. And then once they're in my serious platform, I can say, how often should I be contacting this person? Now I can call them every month, I can call them every quarter, I can invite them to events, whatever it is that I want to do, because I put them in a serious platform in a way that I can reach them and communicate with them.
So in a direct message, are you asking for that information?
Eventually, if it's appropriate, right? I'm real big on being natural, right? So it's kind of like you don't typically go up to someone and ask for their hand in marriage. You go on a date first, right? Like, usually. So there's a natural, I just be natural, right? Hey, I could say, for this Zestimate thing, if you want the real thing, what's your email so that I can send, what's your email or phone number, and I'll shoot this over to you. Now I've moved them to the serious level. So just be natural with it. So the whole point of direct messages is to connect with people, invest in the relationships, and then and only then ask for business. How do you know if you've earned the right? We were just talking about this. How do you know you've earned the right to ask somebody for their business? Have I connected with them in conversation? Have I invested in that relationship? Have I added anything of value to them and their business? If so, yes, I can say, hey, can I ask for your help in something? And I mean, it is that simple. Could I ask for your help? If you have a lawn care company, hey, could I ask for your help in something? Sure, what is it? People want help, people, honestly. For the most part, if you've done something for somebody, they want to help you back anyway. It's not being sneaky, only if your heart's in the wrong place. But if your heart's in the right place and you genuinely wanted to help them, you say, can you help me? They're going to say yes. Hey, look, I'm looking to expand my lawn care business. And I build everything by referrals. Who do you know that could be looking for lawn care that you could connect with? You just ask. And if they say no, you're not any worse. But you know what they are? Now they're thinking about it. There's something, the reticular activating system it's called. So how many people saw a blue Honda on the way here? Watch how many people see in this room a blue Honda in the next week. Blue Honda. Blue Honda. You're going to see a blue Honda. Watch it this week, 7 days, promise you. You can email me, Blue Honda. You'll see it. So you prime that algorithm and you stay connected with people, they start to see you. They start to think about you. And even if they don't send you business right then, they know, right? They think, oh yeah, I know so-and-so. So that's the point of direct messages. What about the interest in education? Because I said you got to post engaging content, right? Tide riser, hand raiser, and the offer. That's the engagement. But I think you should also post things regularly that are interesting to you and that also educate your audience. So I don't have much time. I'm probably already gone way too long. This is interesting stuff. I share stupid memes. That old guy could be one of you in here switching to the fast lane, driving 50 miles an hour. Get out of my way. Right? Like, it's just relatable content. I was watching A Band of Brothers. It was on Netflix. And I posted about this character that I can't stand. And boy, oh boy, 200 and some odd people and I don't have a huge Facebook, but 1.3 thousand people hate this guy like me. Oh, there you go. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I train in Wyandotte. There you go. I just share my life. Like, this is just what I'm interested in. So I'm just being me. Yeah. And people will comment on that, and that gives me opportunities to do what? Have conversations. I see people on there, I'm like, oh man, I haven't talked to that guy in forever. If I have his number, I text him directly. If I don't, I just DM him. Hey man, I saw that you commented on my jiu-jitsu post. What have you been up to lately? We haven't talked in forever. Now I'm in a conversation. It's that simple. So you're using interests. So what interests you? Go ahead and post about it. And then this is education. I like to write, and I like to write some serious things sometimes. This is one of those things. I was writing about gluttony. A lot of Christians criticize a lot of sins, but a lot of times while they're shoving a bunch of food in their face and being gluttonous. So it's a little hypocritical if you ask me. So I wrote about that. And a lot of people interacted, 116 comments. So it just creates opportunities. So I like to do things like that. When it comes to business, write this down, never direct, always indirect. Never direct, always indirect. So when I'm educating people about my business, who I am, what I do, and why I do it, it's always indirect. So this is a couple that I helped leave Michigan. He got transferred to a location in DC, so they bought a house in Virginia. So I helped them leave Michigan, move to Virginia, did the lending, and I said the beautiful part about the mortgage world is how I can help a friend get a house in Virginia while I'm still here in Michigan. I was going to put while sitting in my underwear, but that was kind of partially true. I did work on it late at night, but who's in the photo? They are. The people I helped. Who's the hero of this story? It's not me. I helped them. They did the deciding. They picked the house. They got the lending. I helped them. But it's about them. But guess what? Do you think people read that and know that I do mortgages? Well, yeah. It's indirect. I'm not posting, hey, and if you're, who's here in Downriver and Friends? That's the most communist Facebook group on the planet, by the way. All right. His name's Jeff. I'll challenge that guy to a cage fight. I think I told him that directly. Anyway.
But you can't look away.
But you can't look away. You got to. It's 100,000 people. It's our people. We gotta know. Yeah, can't look away. It's like a car wreck, you know.
Question.
Oh yeah.
How did the comment, insurrection stuff with my Patriot friends, PC?
Yeah, I also used my sense of humor. Yeah, I thought Facebook might take it down, but they didn't. It actually got some people to text me off of Facebook, like, how do you get away with this stuff? So yeah, he works for the government, so he's like, dude, this is going to be on every review I get now that you said this. They're going to think I'm like an insurrectionist or something. I'm like, oh, I'll take it down if you need me. So, indirect though. But in Downriver and Friends, watch what happens when someone says, does anybody know a realtor? Oh my gosh! It's 87 bazillion answers like sharks with blood in the water, and I don't ever get involved in it at all. But you'll see realtors post in there, if I'm a new realtor, so if anybody's looking to buy, sell, or do whatever, it's the same thing, it's just white noise, but it's direct. And the reason is people, again, aren't coming to Facebook or Instagram to get sold on something. They're coming because they just want to engage, they want to get away. So you capture their attention indirectly. Who's this? Who's this happy family? I changed, I'm launching a new business, so I did that, but I gotta shut up here soon. So remember how I said you can make up any kind of offer? I call this the 3C strategy that I'm teaching you tonight. I made that up. It doesn't mean anything. Other than the fact that I came up with 3 words called C. I connect, converse, and convert. You know what I'm going to do in 2024? I'm going to say, hey realtors, who wants my 3C strategy responsible for X amount of dollars in sales in 2023? They're going to say, me. What kind of post is that? Hand raiser, or even an offer, right? If I'm offering something for free to them, it's an offer, but it's also a hand raiser. So that kind of all works together. But I would teach people how to connect on social media, how to converse with people, and then ultimately your conversions happen in conversations. So that's the 3C strategy that I'm talking about. Here's a formula before we just take some questions. Authenticity plus intentionality over enough time is going to get you results. Don't get married to the results. If why you're doing your business is about money, you already have lost. And it's kind of a weird thing, right? Because we want our businesses to be profitable. But if your goal, if your why is money, people see through that. People see through that. That's inauthentic. So you've got to know your why so that you can really be you. You don't have to pretend to be anybody else on social media. Trust me, you can just be yourself. Your sense of humor, your interest, your views, share them. You're you. Be you. Because people don't want the brand, they want you. You are the brand of your business. If you're on social media talking about your business, that's what they're associating it with. So be you. And then be intentional with it. Right? The intentionality is the strategy I gave you. You can post this in 5 minutes. You can think of it, post it. You can post a story. You can do this 5 minutes a day, easily. Pick 1 or 2 people to start conversations with. Just do it once a day. Easy strategy. And give it enough time, and results will come. So be more proud that you're doing the work day in and day out than you are of the results. Because the results will come. All right. I probably went way too long. Sorry. How long did I go? All right. All right, cool. All right. I could talk about social media all day long. So, what kind of questions does that elicit?
How are you volunteering for your
Useless. Yep. Hashtags are useless. That's a good question. That's great. Like, that's very practical. And in fact, if you'll see on Instagram somebody post something and then it's like hashtag downrivermi, hashtag Wyandotte, hashtag Taylor, hashtag whatever, hashtag all this stuff, and there's like a big block of it. Instagram goes, this is such a mess, I'm not showing you that. It's almost like you'll actually get penalized. You're not reaching as many people as you could if you just left it like that. It'll let it find its audience, if that makes sense. Yeah. If you're gonna do, I literally talked to someone at Instagram. If you're gonna use hashtags, 1, maybe 3, but they have to be 100% relevant to the post or you're gonna be punished. And when I say punished, I mean they'll literally pull you out of the feed and won't show your stuff to as many people for like 30 days. So I just don't use it.
What about gain for Facebook boost?
Yep. If you're going to do paid marketing, so paid marketing is, in a lot of respects, a completely different animal, right? Because now the copy, what you're saying matters, how you do it. You're paying to compete with others in the same space. So if you're going to boost a post, like if I had a post, I might test something with different ways to say it, and whichever post actually got the most engagement, I will boost that. So that's giving that post a hand up. And you're gonna get more bang for your buck on posts that are already doing good without paying for them when you add money. So it's kind of like, if you're a good baseball player and then you take steroids, you do even better. But you can't just give somebody that doesn't know how to, you can inject me with steroids all day long, I would still strike out every time, right? And a lot of people are using ads like that. They're just spending money, thinking if I spend enough money, more people will see this. But if the content isn't good enough to capture their attention, they'll just keep scrolling.
So about 5 years ago, there was this one developer in that, they were asking that question. People were talking about boosting. It's a waste of money, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just his across the board comment.
In general, yes. But if you do have marketing dollars and you are going to put it out there, I would do it on the posts that are your best posts. I wouldn't just make an ad. I would make sure that I've already done something that got a lot of engagement on its own.
What about boosting stories?
I don't have a lot of experience with that, so I really can't speak to that. I would say in general it's probably not a great idea because they're not designed for that. But some of the ads you can run will appear in people's stories in between stories, so the post that you had would still show up there.
On social media, should you ever be concerned, like when you do get followers that are like select your reputation?
Well, I got tons of creeps following me. That's why I own guns. It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it can get weird like that or whatever, but you can just block people.
Oh,
If there's creeps, you just block them.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, it's just a little annoying.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you gotta be focused on what it is that you're doing and not care what other people think. To be honest with you, yeah, doesn't matter. People are gonna hate you no matter what you do.
Well, it's not even a matter of hate, it's just a matter of really putting some creep or trying to break the call or, or something.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be putting my home address out for everybody to see. I mean, people can find me if they look hard enough. But yeah, it's just one of those things where we're out there. Yeah, you are putting yourself out there on social media for sure.
Well, I mean, like, I'm concerned, so like, one of the things I never do, I always kind of that, for instance, is like when people post like, we're on this spectacular vacation right now, so if you don't want to do that, just by virtue of the fact that, I'm in Hawaii for 5 days, well, they give us the 5 days to figure out how to get a break.
Right. Yeah, I get it. Some people keep their stuff on private. It's kind of like pointless in your business, depending on the size of your audience. You can go private and still see a lot of benefit from engaging on social media, like posting if you don't care that you're on vacation. But you could totally go without posting about your vacation.
Yeah.
So I think these conversations start by you replying to somebody's comment on Facebook, and then
I just create conversations, and I just pick the ones that seem most interesting to me, or the ones that I'm drawn to, right? And I call this like the reason to be in the room. So if I came in here and had no idea what this meeting was about, and I was selling timeshares, and I start walking up to everybody and be like, hey, you want a timeshare in Florida? I sell them, like
Where in Florida?
anywhere better than here. You gotta have a reason to be in the room. You know what I'm saying? And so I think the same thing with comments. So if someone comments on the saran wrap thing, I really don't want to have a conversation about saran wrap. But what I'm looking for is, who's commenting? I haven't talked to them in a long time. Or they said something really funny. And I have the habit of not commenting back to them all the time, but sending them a DM and telling them that I think it's funny. So now I'm like, dude, your comment on my post about saran wrap had me rolling. If it did, I'm not faking it. That's what I'm saying. I'm scrolling through there like I'm gonna give them a real reaction, but instead of commenting on the post itself, I just shoot them a message. And if I have a number, I'll just text them directly.
But in order to get that personal information to do it correct, you have to reply on Facebook.
Yeah, ultimately that would come from a conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm not weird about it either. I wouldn't take that post on saran wrap and go, oh, that was really funny. By the way, I'm a realtor. Did you know that? I wouldn't say that. That's awkward. That's not natural, as we said. But what happens in the course of conversation is, have you guys ever heard of Ford conversations? Family, occupation, recreation, dreams and goals. So Ford or Frog, family, recreation, occupation, goals and dreams, like both of those are the same thing. That's a framework that I think is valuable for conversation in general. So the reason to be in the room with that person, the reason to talk to that person is he made me laugh on a post that I made him laugh. That's the starter. But then it's like, how's your family? How's work going? Right? And what happens is, we're people that we're reciprocal by nature. So then they say, how's work for you? Are you still a cop? I get that. Like, oh no, I left the police career behind. I started doing real estate. Oh, really? And it's happened before. We're right like that. Like, my brother's getting ready to think about doing something I should connect you to. Like, okay, cool. I didn't even ask. I didn't even ask for that. It just happened because of saran wrap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just natural. There's natural relationships and conversations. Yes, sir.
So what's the rule of thumb in responding to negative comments? Is there like a formula?
My formula is how much time do I got? Right? Like, does this person need to be, dealt with, or do I just ignore? 99% of the time I just ignore negative comments. I don't give them what they want.
I mean, do you block them though, or?
No, I hardly. The only people I block are like people that are like being really weird, like they're weird, they're sexual, they're violent, or they're being like, truly aggressive, like saying things that, man, this person is just not somebody I need in my life at all. My profile is public, so way more people see my stuff than comment, or so I could have all kinds of weirdos follow me, but yeah, I typically don't block people because it just gives them what they want, Like, there's negative people everywhere, so I just you could, if you can respond with kindness and say, wow, like, sounds like you're having a rough day. I'll pray for you. That annoys them even more anyway because it didn't get the reaction they wanted out of them. So that's my rule of thumb: is like, don't feed the trolls typically. Yes, ma'am.
So, my understanding is that if you're promoting a business on your profile, that Facebook can kind of think that you need a page to do that.
No, I would say unless you need a business page, you don't even need one. Yeah, I hardly do much. Now, some of those things are changing with Reels. So if you don't know what Reels are, they're short videos that are, I think they allow up to 90 seconds on Facebook and Instagram. And so you can make these short videos. And again, use all the tools. They gave you Reels, you should be using Reels. And they gave you use stickers on reels, you should be using them. So use the tools. So now that they have reels, business pages are doing a little bit better. And what I'll do is there's a way to collaborate. So when you make a reel on your personal page, you can collaborate with your business page, and it says that the reel is by both people, and it puts it out in both places. So Facebook is doing a few better tools for that, but 99% of the entirety of my business has come from my personal page, not from my real estate page.
What about following and unfollowing on Instagram?
In terms of what?
Like just following people on Instagram to try to get more people to follow you back?
I would lean back into authenticity. I would follow people that I want to follow, and I wouldn't follow people that I don't want to. I don't think that there's no magic to that. They kind of cracked down on, bots, and you used to be able to like pay for followers, and basically it was a bunch of computer generated bots that go and like something or whatever, and then it would artificially increase your page, and it would recognize that it was artificial, and then it would like dig into it, and then nobody sees your stuff. So I would just keep it as authentic as possible. Because the reality is, like, would you rather have 100 people that want to hear everything you have to say, or 10,000 people that only want to hear you once in their life? I'd rather have the 100 people all day long, That's how bands make a lot of their money. They have 1,000 raving fans, right, that want every t-shirt from every tour, every album. They want the special edition. It doesn't really matter that there's 20,000 people at a concert. It's the 1,000 that are always at every show that matter the most. So that's the greatest leverage you have is authenticity.
Did you say there was a way to ask a poll question in stories?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I can show you on my phone and all that stuff. But yeah, you can do polls, and that's a great thing, right? You're an attorney, right? A poll of who here has ever needed an attorney. Then Instagram will actually tell you who said yes and who said no. And you can interact with people, and you can take it further. You can do all kinds of things with that. You can I would do a poll if I was an attorney. Who hates attorneys? I would do a Q&A, tell me your funniest attorney joke. And then I would repost them on my stories. What does that do? It shows people who I am. That'd be me if I was an attorney. Don't be me. Be you. I'll give everybody any amount of bonus ideas I can tonight.
Maybe let's say it doesn't. What's the advantage of having following someone? Do you see their post more regularly than
Yes.
the algorithm would normally see it?
Yep. If you like or follow something, you're raising your hand, telling the machine, I want to see more content from them and like them. Yeah.
That's a good question. So, do you follow people who are your friends, or because I just started noticing that some people follow instead of friend, or are you both? Or do you only allow to have so many friends?
It's a carryover. So Facebook made a switch because Instagram has always been follow, and Facebook bought Instagram. So then there was a carryover, so they have like this follow or like. So if you like, you're following. But if you follow, you might not like. It all does the same thing.
Okay.
Follow is just as effective as like, pretty much. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Hey, was that not awesome or what? That was great. Mike, thank you very, very, very much. And yeah, I definitely learned something, and you'll laugh at me. As much as I've had Facebook, I have never done a story.
There you go.
And I just learned I gotta do more stories. But do stories of me running. Everybody, see, she follows me. You know what I do all the time. So I always do that poll too. It's like, hey, I always do the top 3 things in my life. It's my faith, my business, and my running, and my family. So those are my top 4 that I always post. That's why everybody in the room that follows me on Facebook knows I'm a runner. And because that's my life. That's one of my interests. And like just a perfect example, I did the Detroit Marathon last weekend, and I had like 300 likes and 80 comments. but I gotta learn, I gotta do more direct messaging back and talk to those people as well. But Mike, that was amazing and awesome, and I want you guys to hang out and ask questions afterwards, but I do want to make a plug about our Taylor Rotary. Taylor Rotary meets here every Thursday at noon, and this Thursday coming up, November 2nd, is a very, very important meeting. I want all of you, if you can, to come next Thursday at noon. Kelly Petrowski, great friend of Mike and mine, she is coming in and talking to us about the Night to Shine prom. Taylor Rotary last year, I've been part of Night to Shine for 9 years, and we got Taylor Rotary to partner with 242 Church and Night to Shine last year, and it was a life-changing moment for a lot of people here. Well, Kelly's coming in and speaking at our club about how to partner with Night to Shine again this year, which is going to be February 9th. And if you don't know what Night to Shine is, that is a prom for special needs individuals that the Tim Tebow Foundation has been putting on for 10 years. And we have one right here in Taylor, and it's going to be February 9th. And ourselves, our club, and the Taylor Business Alliance are going to partner with 242 Church to help them put on this special needs prom again. We just had our meeting yesterday for our committee, and we're anticipating 150 special needs guests again, and we need volunteers, we need sponsors, we just need your help. But this is an awesome, awesome way to give back to the community at the Tim Tebow Night to Shine, Tim Tebow Foundation Night to Shine prom. And we are going to be having a meeting about this Thursday, November 2nd at noon, right here in this room. And Kelly from 242 Church is going to be talking to us. So I think that's an important meeting. You should come and help out in what you can do to be part of that organization and give back to the community, because it is a game changer, and you will not be disappointed. And you can ask Mike, myself, Dave. He participated and helped in this prom many years, and we can tell you all kinds of great stories and testimonies from it. So please, if you can be here Thursday at noon to meet with Kelly for 242 Church's Night to Shine prom, we'd appreciate it. But have some more appetizers, hang out, ask Mike a ton of questions, pick his brain, and thanks for all coming. I'll get some messages out there. Our next Alliance meeting will be in January, so we'll be kicking off 2024, and we'll keep you posted. And I almost want to have an encore presentation of Mike's presentation, because that was just amazing. Yes, Mr. Larry. February 15th. Oh yeah, geez, I'm thinking about, I know where I'll be February 15th, some of you, but yeah. February 15th, State of the City address, right in this room. We host the State of the City address with Mayor Woolley, and it's a chance we will have tables. It's a great venue and dinner, and you get to hear what's going on here in the city of Taylor. Taylor Rotary puts on this event, so February 15th will be our State of the City address, and right here in this room. So get with me or Larry with some more information about that, and mark that on your calendars as well. So I think that's it for announcements. I'll have a couple more later, but yeah, we'll make sure you guys, I'll get you the dates for January. I want to say 13th, but I could be wrong. Well, anyway, enjoy. Thanks for coming, everybody, and thanks again, Mr. Edwards. You were awesome.